Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises and glory to the Heavenly Father Yahweh and His Son Yahushai. I also give salutations. I salute the elect brothers pushing the agenda of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles of GMS, which have given us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The title of this video is called, the title of this article is called Up to 4,000 U.S. Troops Prepare for Rapid Deployment to the Middle East. Now, as you can see up there at the top, this article was uploaded from blacklistednews.com. Let's see, on page 3. So this is page 3 of where this article was uploaded. So I'm going to read it and then I'm going to elaborate upon it. The U.S. Army 82nd Airborne Division's Alert Brigade has been issued orders to deploy rapidly to Kuwait following an attack on the American embassy in Baghdad by a pro-Iranian mob. So you see, Iran is starting to become, the new problem over there in the Middle East. You see, at first it was Iraq, and then it was Afghanistan, and then it was Syria. Syria became the new problem of the Middle East. We got to deal with Bashar al-Assad. He's releasing chemical weapons on his people, or so they say, right? But there's no proof that he actually did it. Plus, the U.S. government has been known to do something in a particular country and then put the blame on the so-called leader of that country so they can justify further action within that country. And now the new problem over there in the Middle East is Iran. And this is beautiful news because Iran is a part of the key to the so-called white man going down. Why do I say that? Well, because when the so-called Israelis go into Iran, they're going to drag the U.S. into Iran, into this battle against Iran with them. And when that happens, Russia is going to step in because, presuming to the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, where it says, "Be thou a guard unto them," Russia is going to step in to be a guard unto Iran. But it's not going to just be Russia, because Russia has allies. So China and North Korea, they're going to step in too. Germany and Turkey, they're going to step in. NATO, who's going to turn on America, they're going to get involved over there too, man. And just like that, you're going to have the world superpowers getting involved in this conflict over there in the Middle East, and it's going to turn into a war, man, a big war. Just real quick, I want to bring this out. Let me see. No, go back. Okay, yes, go back. Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, and the word woe goes back to the Hebrew word abadnium, which means destruction, because the second woe is talking about World War II. And what do wars bring? Destruction. So the second destruction, which is the second World War, which was a very destructive war, by the way. And behold, the third woe, the third destruction, which is going to be the greatest destruction of all the other World War destructions, cometh quickly. So the third woe is talking about World War III. And World War III comes quickly. It's right around the corner. We can feel it. With Iran constantly being the new center of attention, okay, eventually something is going to happen to where the so-called Israelis, they're going to go into Iran. And that eventually could be this year, where the so-called Israelis go into Iran. But like our apostle said, though, before this war can happen, the chip has to come to pass. You know, the mark of the beast has to be mandatory. But we know it's near. We know the time is drawing near where the RFID chip is going to be mandatory. You have to take it or you're going to be secluded from society. In worst case scenarios, you might end up being locked up in a concentration camp, being labeled a terrorist for not taking the chip. Okay, you might end up being tortured and then beheaded. But we know the elect is not going to take the chip, and if they do die, then guess what? They're going to be the first ones to be risen up next to Yahushua. And let me bring this one out too while I'm at it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter, I believe it's this one. No, it's not 32. Perhaps it was chapter 34. Let me check. Let me see. Okay. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. So we're here to proclaim these prophecies before you people in the other nations, especially our people. Okay, our people, they're supposed to be hearing this and trembling before the Lord, man, because the end is near. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. And guess where that great slaughter is going to be? Over there in the Middle East. I mean, of course, you know, here in America, there's going to be a great slaughter because of martial law, shooting our people down in the streets, our people being put in concentration camps and murdered, killed. Okay, DARPA robots is going to be killing people, especially our people. There's going to be race wars. There's going to be famines. People is going to die of starvation, of diseases, the plagues that ancient Egypt was hit with, such as monstrous apparitions. There's going to be newly created beasts. But guess what? Over there in the Middle East, there's going to be a great slaughter, because that's where World War III is going to mainly take place at, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. So, hey, all of you people who get drafted into the military that's forced to fight over there, hey, get ready to live Call of Duty. You love playing Call of Duty every day? Well, you're going to experience it firsthand when Esau got you running out there on the front lines with an AK that you don't even know how to shoot. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. Okay, yes, there's going to be so many dead bodies over there in the Middle East. It's going to be a great stench coming from those rotten corpses. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall roll together as a scroll. Yeah, that's talking about the nukes. Because when a nuclear bomb explodes, what do you see? A mushroom cloud. And when that mushroom cloud spreads out through the sky, when you look at it from a sky view, it looks like the sky is being rolled together like a scroll. Okay? And all their hosts shall fall down. The host meaning, another word for host is army. So there's going to be a lot of people in the military that's going to die from these nuclear wars, man. From these nuclear bombs. Because guess what? Yeah, the war is going to, in the Middle East, the war is going to start off as a conventional war. A war fought with war jets, stealth bombers, drones, tanks, mine resistance and protection vehicles, which will be MRAPs, foot soldiers, warships with highly concentrated lasers. And then it's going to escalate into a nuclear war, because one of these countries is going to say, fuck this shit, and they're going to let off a nuke. And then guess what? These other countries, they're going to start shooting off their nukes. And just like that, you're going to have nukes flying all around the world, striking their designated targets. America is going to be the main target of this upcoming nuclear war, being hit with over 200 million missiles, with the nukes doing the most damage to this country. And all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from off the vine, and as a falling from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Yeah, because when the ICBM launches, the first place it goes is into within the ozone layer of the Earth, which what Esau will call outer space, which ain't no nuke getting past the electromagnetic belt of the Earth. But it is going to be flying in between the electromagnetic belt of the Earth and the ozone layer of the Earth. It's going to be flying in between those two particles. Okay? Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. So guess what? When the ICBM is about to strike its designated target, guess what? What happens when it strikes its designated target? It starts to fall down from out the sky. What happens next? The capsule comes off, and many nuclear warheads inside of that ICBM comes out. And when they strike at ground zero and explode, destroying anything in its wake. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. For the sword of the Lord is filled with blood, it is made with fatness, and the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord have a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. So Lord's will, you brothers were informed and edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the year of chaos and prophecy. Shalom.